Good morning. We appreciate you all being here today so we can share with you the project that we have underway. We're about to roll out to assist people throughout Greenville County with broadband connectivity. Project Connect. Last spring, middle of March, our schools were closed by executive order due to the coronavirus COVID-19 spread. As part of that, we immediately shifted our schools to distance learning, e-learning, virtual learning, whatever term you choose to define students learning remotely at home through internet connectivity. It became immediately apparent to us that we had areas throughout our county where we did not have good internet connectivity, hindering our students from performing their work and affecting our community in other ways. Among the things that we did in order to address that period of time is we amped up the signals at every one of our 106 locations, like the location behind me. Our interior Wi-Fi signals, we amped those up so that if you were in the parking lot like we are today, you could receive a signal coming from the building, going back through our servers, connecting you to the internet. Fortunately, we also had Wi-Fi on every one of our regular route school buses. We were able to deploy those school buses strategically throughout the county to provide connectivity to areas that lacked that broadband access. We're very fortunate that those buses had been equipped several years ago through a grant that we obtained for that purpose. That served us reasonably well. They were placed out at about 25 locations that were distant from schools and were targeted based on our Education Technology Services Department's mapping of what, for a lack of a better term, you might refer to as digital deserts or internet deserts. That helped us bridge that divide. Well, as you might imagine, one of those two solutions is still in place. Our signals at our schools are still amped up. The other solution is currently in motion, bringing students to school. So we can't station those buses out in the community anymore. We were most fortunate that when we identified an alternative solution, that Greenville County was very willing to partner with us to help to fund that solution. We're very pleased today to have County Council Chair Butch Curvin with us, and he'll share a few remarks in a minute. I believe that we also have at least one other council member with us, Liz Seaman, here at the front. Not able to be with us today, but very important in the approval of this project was County Administrator Joe Cornell. And again, we appreciate the support of the entire council in the funding. Nearly $250,000 to provide the solution that you see to my right. Now, that's not really an out-of-the-box solution. It didn't come all packaged together. We just opened it up and can put it up throughout the county. It required the effort of what we refer to as our project champions. Cradle Point, which is the product itself, Encore and Synex, which both helped us to get large discounts on the products. Sun Surveillance is the solar-powered unit that you see at the top. Network Controls is doing the installation. This was a design initiated and laid out for fabrication by our Educational Technology Services Department, led by the Director, Bill Brown, who is also with us this morning. While you see this for demonstration purposes mounted on a very short pole, the way these will be deployed out in the community could be on a light pole, could be on a rooftop, could be on some other elevated surface or structure. From that elevation, it produces about a 100,000 square foot radius of signal, providing a point for individuals in our community to come and access Wi-Fi. So it's a solution not only for our students who might still be doing e-learning, it also is a solution for families, for individuals, and for businesses. And while its initial rollout is related to the pandemic, this solution can and will stay in place to serve our community well beyond the time we've passed the pandemic, which I think we all hope is very soon. We know that commonly throughout other areas of South Carolina that we have in our county, particularly in rural areas and in some other underserved areas, we have large segments of the population that do not have connectivity. And that is vital in today's world for the success of individuals, families, and for the economic success of our community. In fact, there are more than 100,000 South Carolinians that do not have internet connectivity. So we are most appreciative of Greenville County for partnering with us, for our project champions, for working with us to carry out two things that are expectations of our school district and particularly of our Board of Trustees. In just a moment, you will hear from our board chair, Linda Leventis-Wells. We're also joined here today by board members Joy Grayson and Michelle Goodwin-Cowell. Those two expectations that they have for us, for one, is providing equitable opportunities for student achievement. This goes directly to that. One of the other expectations they have is that we partner with others through the community, nonprofits, other governmental entities, businesses, community groups, because all the work that we do can be done more effectively when we partner with others. We're extremely grateful for all of those that have partnered with us to make this possible, to roll out this innovative solution to a problem that is affecting individuals in our community throughout our county. At this time, I'd like to ask Linda Leventis-Wells, Chair of the Board of Trustees, to share a few thoughts with you as well. Linda?
Thank you, Dr. Royster. Good morning. Thank you for this exciting time, being a part of it. We appreciate you all being here today to support this exciting announcement. The 42 solar-powered Wi-Fi access units that Dr. Royster just described to you is one of several ways that Greenville County Schools is working to help our students bridge the digital divide and get the access they need during this pandemic. I want to reiterate our appreciation to Chairman Butch Urban, all County Council administrators, Joe Cornell, and Greenville County staff, Bob Mahalik, as well as all of his crew for their eagerness to support this project through CARES Act funding. also want to thank the project champions, Cradle Point, Encore Technology Group, Network Controls, Sun Surveillance, and Cinex Corp for their part in making this solution possible. Our community is known for its successful collaborations, and Project Connection certainly is an example of another partnership during these very challenging circumstances where all of our community members, including students, will benefit both now and long term. And Dr. Royster was telling you about this and how they're on light posts and so forth. There you go. We have this young student over here, Helen, who had her little iPad, making sure all the equipment was working properly this morning. And it is working. With that said, and on this beautiful day of celebration, I now would like to invite Chairman Butch Kerbine to the podium.
It's great to be with y'all today, representing Greenville County Council. It's great to have Liz Seaman with us. Let's stand up just a minute. Okay, you want to make sure y'all see Liz. She does a great job on County Council, and I'm proud that she's one of my 12 colleagues on the council. I want to share a personal moment. This is a bit of a homecoming for me this morning. The reason is my daughter graduated from what was Southside High School right behind us in 1998. And my wife and I spent a lot of time out here during her high school days selling concessions at the football games and working with the parents on fundraising projects and just being involved in the high school. And they did a great job then, and I'm sure they're doing a great job now at the new Southside down the road and what the T. Anderson Center that this facility now becomes. So it's a real pleasure for me to be out here today, and brings back a lot of memories. Just wanted to share that with you. My daughter did go on from Southside, and she eventually earned her PhD, and she's a college professor now down at Georgia College and State University at Milledgeville, Georgia. So we're really proud of the education she got at Greenville County Schools. As a matter of fact, I want to say that looking around at the different organizations we deal with on County Council, one of the premier best ones I see is the Greenville County Schools that do a tremendous job all of public education spectrum across K through 12, preparing people for jobs and higher education and whatever else they do in life. I'm just sort of editorializing here, but I'm really taking advantage of the opportunity to compliment Greenville County Schools, which means that we as a county are very, very happy to be able to collaborate on this project because we know it's going to be very successful. Back to the subject at hand, I want to talk for a minute about Greenville County's role in this. You know, we were entrusted with a lot of money from the federal government under the CARES Act. It came with some guidelines and some restrictions on how it could be spent. But we have worked to put it to the best use we possibly can, including this one right here. The funds have to be applied to qualified projects. It can't just be doled out to anybody that raises their hand and says they want some money. There's criteria attached to that. And I want to make sure everybody understands that. And that's the way it should be. There needs to be some accountability and transparency in the way the funds are spent. Certainly this is a real qualified project because it's going to benefit not only the school district but everyone in the county. And I want to emphasize that point that Dr. Royster made. This is a county-wide initiative, especially penetrating technology out into the rural areas and underserved areas. We're so fortunate to be able to do this at this time through this technology because not only through the pandemic, but as also was mentioned, into the future. It's going to give us a technological spine or backbone to build on, not only for education, but telemedicine, people making job applications, any number of activities were going to be made possible starting right here in this collaboration between the county, Greenville County, and the Greenville County Schools. I want to say once again that we're very proud to to be a partner in this. We've been a partner in quite a number of other nonprofit initiatives around in the county, not only in affordable housing, people helping pay their rent, their utilities, any number of projects and specific ideas that were brought forward and developed and made sure that they fit the criteria. Greenville County has done. Not all of those are well publicized, but the people who are benefiting from it certainly are grateful for it, and we're fortunate to be able to provide those services not only through the work of our expert county staff, our county council programs we have in place, and most of all the federal funds that we're fortunate to be entrusted with for these purposes. So I wanted to emphasize those points that Dr. Royster made, and so I want to turn it back over for closing comments for Dr. Royster.
Thank you, Butch, and thank you again for the county's willingness to partner with us to support this. Before we depart today, I want to express my appreciation for all of you for being here. I also want to specifically recognize, do we have folks here from Cradle Point? Cradle Point, Encore and Cinex, Sun Surveillance, Network Controls. Go from Network Controls. Network Controls back here. So you saw those folks when they raised their hands, and I would imagine that if you have specific technological questions about this, you'll get a better answer about that from them than you'll get from me. Or you could direct those to Bill Brown, who's our Director of Education Technology Services, really the architect behind the design. We appreciate each of your role in this project as champions of the project, and appreciate your being here today. Again, thank you for being a part of this. Thanks to all those who've helped make this happen. This is a great step towards connectivity in the underserved areas of our counties. Thank you again. Have a great day and a great weekend.